We are saying happy birthday today to an author who built a career off the bedtime stories he told his kids. Rick Riordan turns 61 years old today.
He has written books for adults, but he is best known for his Percy Jackson and the Olympians series of books for tweens. He is also the lead author on a series called The 39 Clues. Several different authors write different volumes, and the publisher, Scholastic, has developed an interactive website for the series, complete with video games.
Kathleen Shannon caught up with him in 2014 when he was at an event for the series in Exeter, New Hampshire.
I look up to all of the people that I'm on the stage with, so I don't know. I mean, I think they're all fantastically talented, but I'm really happy that I could be part of it, and was honored to start the 39 Clues. I can't believe that we're looking at so many books now from that one little one that I started.
Tell me about the interactive nature, the fact that video games are involved. You're a former English teacher, English and history teacher. Did part of you resist the video component?
Well, I think, no, not really, because I taught in middle school and I understood that kids read in a lot of different ways now. I mean, they are very savvy with the internet, and you sort of have to find where the kids are and take them from that point on. The books are fantastic, and of course it had to have a great core component with the books, but I think it's a lot of fun that the kids who are into interactive things can get online and can become a character in the game and sort of have this auxiliary experience of being part of the Cahill family. So it's just another way to engage the readers, in my opinion.
Are there any of the characters that you relate to?
Dan Cahill probably, because he's a little bit of a troublemaker and a smart aleck, and I think we share the same sense of humor.
Was that your role in your family growing up or in your class?
You know, surprisingly, well, I guess it was. I mean, I was sort of an introverted and a quiet kid, but when I did say something, it was usually a snarky comment, so I guess I'll own that.
So this was in San Antonio.
Yes, that's where I
grew up.
You grew
up in San Antonio, and then you taught high school in various different places, including San Francisco. How much did the teaching and the characters in terms of students affect your writing?
Oh, it's hard to think of a way that the teaching didn't affect the writing. It taught me so much about what kids are looking for, what they find interesting, what they find funny. It taught me a lot about connecting with them and telling a story that will keep their attention. It's always my hope that when I write a book, it's something that I could read aloud to my own classroom, even if it's fifth period after lunch. You know, when the kids are just out and they just are not concentrating at all, I still want something that's going to engage them.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians really catapulted you into national bestseller author status. This started out, from what I understand, as a bedtime story for your own sons? It
did. Yes, my older son was having a really rough year in elementary school. He didn't like reading, he didn't like writing. We had him tested. It turns out he's ADHD, attention deficit disorder. He's also dyslexic. He has a lot of trouble with reading. So as a way to engage him with one of his units in school, which was Greek mythology, which I had taught as a teacher as well, I started telling him the myths for bedtime stories. And eventually I ran out and I made up a new myth about a boy who's also ADHD and dyslexic, and I made it so that that's a sign that you might be a demigod, half mortal. And that was the beginning of Percy Jackson.
And empowering to him.
Well, exactly. I mean, I was using mythology as it's always been used, which is to try to explain something that's hard to understand. And those stories do that so well that it seemed natural to make a myth for my son.
How much of Percy Jackson, okay, so this is a 12-year-old boy,
yes,
modern day, present day, who discovers that he's Poseidon's son.
That's right.
How much of Percy Jackson is actually Rick Riordan?
You know, I think quite a bit. I don't have Percy's bravery. I wish I did, but Percy will be the one who's fighting the monster. I would probably be hiding behind a bush saying, "Don't kill me!" But I think it's the snarky sense of humor, the wisecracking attitude. We definitely share that. He has my voice.
What is the most appealing about the writing process to you, particularly for this age group, right? And in this genre? And what is the biggest challenge?
I'll start with the challenge first. I think it's revision. Revision, as I always tell my students and my young readers, it's no one likes that. It's part of the writing process no one likes, but it's so critical. You can never write anything right the first time. It simply can't be done. I've written 20 novels. I still can't do it. I have to revise 4 or 5 times, and it's hard.
And that's before you send it to the publisher.
Yes, and that's even before my editor sees it. So it's difficult, but it's necessary. The most rewarding thing, I think, working with this age group is that I get the chance to really create readers. If I can get those reluctant readers in the middle grades, the upper elementary grades, into books, if I can put a book in their hands that they will actually connect with and love, then I can create that habit for life. And that is incredibly daunting, and it's humbling, but it's also the best thing about my job.
What a career.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of good advice there, too.
Kathleen Shannon with a conversation from 11 years ago. Rick's son, by the way, doing great, has even written some stories of his own.
Awesome.